Hi, let's understand business. In this session, we shall be discussing about the concept of strategic management and strategy. Let us first look at the evolution of strategic management. As per Hofer, the evolution of strategic management can be seen as part of four distinct phases, which started in 1930s, where everything started as an ad hoc policy making, followed by 1940s when a planned policy formation started happening. After which, during the 1960s onward, strategic paradigm was set. And finally, we move to the stage of strategic management. Before we move any further, let us first try and understand what do we mean by strategy. Johnson and Schulz have defined strategy as the direction and scope of an organization over the long term, which achieves advantage for the organization through its configuration of resources within a challenging environment to meet the needs of the market and to fulfill stakeholders' expectation. The key words with reference to strategy have been highlighted in this definition. Thus, strategy is the scope and direction of an organization over the long term to gain advantage for the organization through the available configuration of resources within the challenging environment to meet the needs of the market and to fulfill the stakeholders' expectation. So, what is strategy or what does strategy tell us? Strategy tells us where is the business trying to get to in the long term. That is the direction in which the business is moving. How can the market perform better than the competition in those market? That is, how can there be advantage to the organization as compared to the competitors? What resources, skills, assets, finance, relationships, technical competence, facilities, etc. are required in order to able to compete? So there should be a network of resources or competence which should be available, and what is available within the organization. What external environmental factors are affecting the business's ability to compete, which is the challenges within the environment. What are the values and expectations of those who have power in and around the business? That is, what is the expectation of the key stakeholders? Now, let us have a look at the vision, strategy, plan paradigm. In other words, let us try to understand how a vision statement translates into strategy, which finally results in a plan. Vision, as we all know, is an input to strategy, along with the various other aspects as discussed earlier, like the available resources, the challenging environment, the objectives for the long term, and so on. So, based on the vision, we get a strategy, which is an integrated set of choices that appeal uniquely to certain customers, creates sustainable competitive advantage, and delivers reliable value creation. So, here what we are talking about is that certain customers strategy gives us the idea as to which customers are to be targeted, creating sustainable competitive advantage as in advantage against competitions, and delivering reliable value creation. This value creation is for the stakeholders, the shareholders, and all those who are important for the organization. Thus, strategy explains what is winning, where to play, how to win, with what core competency to play, and with what structure, system, and measures one needs to operate. Based on this strategy, what we get is a plan or a budget, which is an output of the strategy. Since we are discussing strategy, let us understand, are all decisions taken by organizations strategic? No, they are not. There are certain characteristics which distinguish a normal decision from those of a strategic decision. Let us have a look at some of the such decisions. Strategic decisions are concerned with the scope of an organization's activities. As we discussed in the previous slide, strategy is all about certain customers. That is, it tells us which customers to target, where to play, what is winning, and how to win. So, whenever we are taking decision or whenever organizations take decisions which are concerned with the scope of an organization, such decisions are strategic decisions. Then, strategic decisions try to achieve some advantage for the organization over competition. So those decisions which create certain amount of sustainable competitive advantage as against the competition, such decisions can be termed as strategic decisions of an organization. Strategy is a search for fit with the business environment. As we know, the business environment is challenging and the organization has limited resources, its core competencies based on the structures, systems, measures, whatever is available within the organization. So a fit has to be maintained or fit has to be created. Those decisions which create such kind of a fit or match with the business requirement or the challenging environment, such decisions are strategic, or such terms or such efforts could be called as strategy. Then strategy can be seen as creating opportunities by building an organization's resources and competencies. Organizations need to create reliable value, and that too for the long term. To create long term value, organizations must keep on creating or adding its resources and competencies so as to able to cater to the various upcoming opportunities. Those decisions which create such opportunities or which are aimed at creating the organizations or enhancing the organization's resources and competencies could be called as strategic decisions. Then strategy is affected by the value and expectations of those who have power in and around the organization. Here there are two keywords or two key phrases: value and expectation, and those who have power in and around the organizations. So based on the organization, whoever is the most important stakeholders, it is their values and expectation which is going to drive the strategy. So whichever is enhancing or helping or empowering the expectations and values of the strongest stakeholders could be called as strategic decisions. When it comes to strategy, strategy exists at several levels, right from the overall business or the group of businesses up to the individual who works within an organization. Broadly, strategy may be divided into the corporate level strategy, the business unit level strategy, and the operational level strategy. We shall discuss each one of these separately. A corporate strategy is concerned with the overall purpose and scope of the business to meet the stakeholders' expectations. This is a crucial level since it is heavily influenced by the investors in business and acts to guide strategic decision making throughout the business. Corporate strategy is often stated explicitly in a mission statement. When it comes to corporate strategy, this gives the overall direction to the businesses. Here, the most important stakeholder are the investors who have invested money in the corporate. And corporate strategy is stated or goes down the line through the mission statement. Mission statement, as we discussed in another video, is basically what the organization does to achieve or to accomplish its vision. And we just discussed that it is the vision which is an input to strategy. At the business unit level, strategy is concerned more with how a business competes successfully in a particular market. It concerns strategic decisions about the choice of products, meeting needs of the customers, gaining advantage over competitors, and exploiting or creating new opportunities. Here, the most important stakeholder is the customer, and the focus is to gain advantage over the competitors in various markets wherever the business unit is operating. Let us try and understand the difference between the corporate level strategy and the business unit level strategy with the help of an example. Let us take an example of an organization, let's say Hindustan Unilever Limited. At the corporate level, the strategy would be to create value for the stakeholders, and the most important stakeholders here would be the investors who invest in this particular business. While at the business level, where Hindustan Unilever operates or offers various product lines, at each of these business units, the focus on strategy would be how to gain competitive advantage against the nearest competitors and to retain or enhance the market. At the business level, the key stakeholder would be the customer, and the key focus would be creating competitive advantage over the long run for that particular product. Finally, we come to the operational level strategy. The operational level strategy is concerned with how each part of the business is organized to deliver the corporate and business unit level strategic direction. The operational strategy therefore focuses on the issue of resources, the processes, and the people. At the operational level, the strategy focus is those who operate the business or those who are operating various functions of the business. Here the key stakeholders are the people who are working within the organization, and the focus is to create resources, enhance competencies so as to remain in the market, fulfill and or deliver the corporate and business level strategic requirements, needs, and also to develop resources for the future. Now let us try and understand the concept of levels of strategy with the help of yet another example, this time of P&G. A.G. Lafley, former chairman of the board, president and CEO of Procter & Gamble, under whose leadership P&G's sales doubled, profits quadrupled, and market value increased by over $100 billion, once said at an interview that at P&G we tried to focus on three things: precisely defining winning in each industry in which we competed, that is, to focus externally on winning with customers who mattered most and against the very best competitors, positioning P&G brands and products, that is, deciding where to play and how to win, and finally playing to P&G's strengths, that is, those core competencies which gave P&G competitive advantage like consumer understanding, branding, innovation, strategic partnership, global scale. These were the key focus area on which P&G worked to achieve the kind of results he gave. If we look at his statement, we find that here he talks about strategy at all the three different levels. When he talks about winning in each industry in which they competed, he is talking about the corporate level strategy. The corporate level strategy gets translated into the business unit level strategy when he says that they achieved winning or they defined winning in each industry by focusing externally on winning customers and those customers who mattered, and against the very best competitors. So here he is talking about how each of his business units fought. At each business unit, what they did was they positioned the P&G brand and the products and decided how to play, how to win, where to win, what strategies to take so that each and every business unit performs to fulfill the corporate level strategy. And finally, we see that when he talks about where to play and how to win, apart from the business level, it also speaks about the operational level strategy. That is how each and every department being the customer understanding, branding, innovation, strategic management, global scale, all these things, how to use it, where to play with it, how to win through it. That is playing to P&G's strength. So here this particular example gives us a very good idea about the different levels of strategy at work and what actually does this strategy do. These are all the operational level strategy helps to achieve the business unit level strategy, which in turn helps to achieve the corporate level strategy, which again as a whole would lead to the fulfillment of the vision of the organization. I hope you enjoyed this video. For your comments, please contact me at the below given address. Thank you.